A Russian billionaire is suing the U.S. government, demanding it lift sanctions against him. Our Geoff Cutmore spoke with him exclusively and joins us this morning with more. Morning, Geoff.
Hi, Carl. Hi, Sarah. We're talking here about Oleg Deripaska, who was put on the sanctions list back in April of 2018. His companies were also sanctioned, and that led to a significant spike in the aluminium price. Subsequently, he agreed to reduce his ownership of those businesses, and they were taken off the sanctions list. But he remains, and he now says that his net worth has declined by $7.5 billion as a result of that, and that is what he's suing the U.S. Treasury and Steve Mnuchin for. Let's hear what he had to say in defense of this lawsuit.
I hope that sooner or later people will recognize it's wrong. We'll try to assess the facts, and actually it's getting worse and worse. And last hearing in Congress, when people start blaming me personally for any sort of things which I had no connection even with, not just based on fact, just for anything. And of course it's given me total, how to say, understanding that the legal system in the US maybe is the last resort where people could assess the facts and to see, what justice would be.
Now, some of our audience may be familiar with Oleg Deripaska, or at least may have heard the name, because it's come under the scrutiny of the Mueller investigation. There are no direct allegations that he was involved in election meddling in 2016, but his name has been in the swirl because he had dealings with Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign manager. When directly questioned on this issue, Oleg Deripaska said, I have not spoken to him since 2010, 2011, and I was not involved in any election meddling activity. So for the time being, he is seeking economic redress from the U.S. Treasury, and he continues to insist that the U.S. is using the financial system inappropriately to penalize him. Back to you guys.
I mean, it's amazing that you got him to speak to you about some of these very sensitive topics for the U.S. and Russia. Any idea as to why now he went on the record with you?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, Sarah. He hasn't spoken to any television network in over 2 years. The sanctions that were imposed on him, though, have been swinging on their effect. And even here in Moscow, the government and the central bank are reluctant to deal with him for fear of upsetting the U.S. Treasury and leading to a second round of sanctions. So he says his life has been totally changed, that the businesses that he has spent decades working to build up have now been taken away from him, and he insists he wasn't pressured into doing this by the Kremlin, but he is doing it because emotionally this experience has been devastating. That at least is what he's telling us in this exclusive interview.